My husband's ex-wife was trying to destroy our marriage until she started dating my brother and scheduled her wedding the day after my due date. I am Abigail, 34F, married to Paul, 36M, for the past 3 years, and what started as a seemingly normal blended family situation has turned into a complete nightmare. Paul has 2 teenagers from his previous marriage, Kevin, 16M, and Bonnie, 14F, and their mother, Lisa, 35F, has been systematically trying to destroy my place in this family since day one. Paul and I met at a local coffee shop 5 years ago when I was working as a barista while finishing my degree in marketing. He came in every morning for his usual black coffee, and we started talking. He was upfront about his situation from the start, recently divorced, shared custody of 2 kids with his ex-wife Lisa. They had split after 10 years of marriage because Lisa wanted to focus on her budding real estate career. Paul told me the divorce was amicable, and they had a good co-parenting relationship. The kids were 11 and 9 when I first met them. Kevin was quiet but polite, while Bonnie was more outgoing and friendly. They spent alternating weeks with each parent, and I made sure to give them space and time to adjust to having me around. I never tried to replace their mom, I just wanted to be a positive addition to their lives. Paul and I dated for 2 years before getting married, wanting to make sure the kids were comfortable with our relationship. The first red flag appeared at our wedding. Lisa showed up in a white designer dress that probably cost more than my wedding dress. When my sister pointed out how inappropriate it was, Lisa acted surprised and claimed she had no idea white wasn't acceptable for a wedding guest. She spent the entire reception telling stories about her life with Paul to anyone who would listen. Things started getting worse after we bought our house last year. It's in the same school district as Lisa's place, which made sense for the kids. But suddenly, Lisa started showing up unannounced. She would claim she needed to drop off forgotten homework or sports equipment, but she always managed to time these visits when Paul was home. She'd walk through our house, making comments about our decorating choices or suggesting ways to rearrange the furniture. I still remember the first time I realized how calculated her behavior was. It was at Kevin's 15th birthday party. I had spent days planning it, his favorite chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting, decorations in blue and silver, his favorite colors, and a small gathering of his closest friends and family. Lisa showed up an hour early, bringing an enormous 3-tier cake from the most expensive bakery in town. It was decorated with a gaming theme, which Kevin loves, and had all these fancy fondant details. She made a big show of setting it up, completely overshadowing the cake I had baked. My cake sat untouched while everyone praised Lisa's expensive creation. Since then, it's been a constant competition. Every holiday, every family event, Lisa has to make her presence known. At Christmas, Paul and I got Kevin the new PlayStation he had been wanting. Lisa showed up with a gaming laptop that cost 3 times as much. For Bonnie's 14th birthday, we planned a spa day with her friends. Lisa booked them all a weekend trip to a luxury resort instead. It's like she's deliberately trying to make our gifts look inadequate. The worst incident was Bonnie's middle school graduation party 2 months ago. We had planned everything carefully, decorations in her school colors, a taco bar because she loves Mexican food, and a cake decorated with her achievements. Lisa showed up early and completely took over. She rearranged all the decorations I had spent hours setting up, ordered expensive catering without consulting us, and even gave a long speech about how she'd raised such an amazing daughter. She didn't mention Paul once, let alone me. Last month, we hosted a family barbecue. My parents, my 3 siblings, and some extended family were all there. Lisa wasn't invited, but she showed up anyway, bringing expensive Wagyu steaks to replace the burgers Paul was grilling. She spent the entire afternoon monopolizing conversations, telling stories about her life with Paul, referencing inside jokes from their marriage, and showing everyone photos of the kids from before I was in the picture. My family looked uncomfortable, but no one said anything. Paul tried changing the subject several times, but Lisa kept bringing everything back to their shared past. I confronted Paul that night after everyone left. He admitted he felt uncomfortable with Lisa's behavior but didn't want to cause problems for the kids' sake. Kevin and Bonnie either don't notice the tension or they're so used to their mom's behavior that it seems normal to them. When I tried talking to Lisa directly about it, inviting her for coffee to discuss boundaries, she laughed in my face. She told me I was being oversensitive and that I needed to understand my place as just the stepmom. She said she would always be the kids' real mom, and that I should be grateful she allows me to be part of their lives at all. Now I'm 6 months pregnant with our first child together, and Lisa's behavior has escalated even further. She's been telling Kevin and Bonnie that they'll always be her only real grandchildren. She makes comments about how different things will be when they have a half-sibling, implying that they'll be less important to Paul and me once our baby arrives. She's even started showing up at my prenatal appointments, claiming she wants to support the kid's half-sibling. I'm at my wit's end, Reddit. Paul says I'm being hormonal and overreacting, that Lisa is just trying to stay involved in her kids' lives. But I know what she's doing. Every time I try to create special moments with the kids or build our family bonds, she finds a way to overshadow or undermine me. Ida for wanting to set strict boundaries with my husband's ex-wife? Am I wrong for wanting her to stop treating our house like it's still her home? Update 1. It's been 3 weeks since my last post, and the situation has taken such an unexpected turn that I still can't believe it's real. Looking back, there were signs I missed. My brother Mike, 32M, had been acting strange at family gatherings for weeks. He kept checking his phone and smiling, making excuses to leave early, and being weirdly defensive whenever anyone asked about his love life. I even joked with my sister about him maybe having a secret girlfriend. If only I had known the truth. Last weekend, my sister Amy threw me a baby shower. She had planned everything perfectly: soft pink and gold decorations, beautiful flower arrangements, and even hired a professional photographer to capture the special moments. About 30 of our closest friends and family members were there, including Paul's family. The first hour went smoothly. We were playing baby-themed games, and I was finally starting to relax and enjoy being the center of attention. Then Mike walked in with Lisa. She was wearing a skin-tight red dress that looked more appropriate for a cocktail party than a baby shower, paired with stilettos that probably cost more than my entire maternity wardrobe. They were holding hands, and Lisa had this triumphant smile on her face. Before anyone could process what was happening, Mike cleared his throat and announced that he and Lisa had been dating for 2 months and were very much in love. The room fell silent. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Lisa used the silence to launch into a speech about how fate works in mysterious ways, and how beautiful it was that she would officially be part of our family now. She even had the audacity to pat my belly and say how exciting it was that her children's half-sibling would also be her future step-niece or nephew. I must have looked like I was about to pass out because my best friend quickly guided me to a chair. The worst part wasn't even Lisa's performance, it was everyone else's reaction. My mom pulled me aside and told me I should be happy that Lisa would officially be part of the family. She said this could make things easier for the kids and suggested I try to see the positive side of the situation. My sister Amy, who had witnessed Lisa's behavior firsthand at multiple family events, thought it was romantic. She kept gushing about how love finds a way and what a small world it is. Even Paul's reaction caught me off guard. He seemed completely unbothered, saying this might actually make things easier for everyone. When I reminded him of all the ways Lisa had tried to undermine our marriage, he said I was focusing too much on the past. The woman who wore white to our wedding, who constantly tries to one-up me with the kids, who shows up uninvited to our family events, is now dating my brother, and everyone thinks I'm overreacting. After most guests left, I confronted Mike in the kitchen. He claimed they met by chance at a real estate seminar where he was learning about property investment. According to him, they got talking during the lunch break and really connected. When I reminded him of everything Lisa had done, how she'd been systematically trying to push me out of my own family, he got defensive. He accused me of being jealous and insecure, saying Lisa had told him all about how I'd been difficult and unwelcoming since day one. My own brother was taking her side. The kids' reactions made everything even worse. Bonnie, 14, thinks the whole situation is weird but kind of funny. She keeps making jokes about how Lisa might become her aunt. Kevin, 16, is angry, but not at Lisa or Mike, at me. He said I ruined his mom's special moment by making a scene at the baby shower. When I tried explaining my side to him, he stormed off to his room and hasn't spoken to me since. Lisa has been feeding them this narrative that I'm the unreasonable one who can't accept their mother's happiness. Over the past week, Lisa has been milking the situation for all it's worth. She's suddenly at every family dinner, sitting next to Mike, acting like she's always been part of our family. She's started calling my parents mom and dad, and they're letting her. Yesterday, she posted a long Facebook status about how blessed she is to have found love again and how some people, pointed much, need to learn to let go of the past and embrace new beginnings. She included photos from the baby shower, carefully selected to show her and Mike looking blissfully happy while I appear upset and antisocial in the background. Paul finally admitted that the situation makes him uncomfortable, but he still thinks I'm making too big a deal out of it. He suggested I focus on preparing for the baby and let everyone else handle their own relationships. I tried explaining that this feels like another one of Lisa's calculated moves to insert herself further into our lives, but he dismissed my concerns as pregnancy hormones. I feel like I'm living in some bizarre alternate reality where everyone has lost their minds. My own family is embracing the woman who has been trying to destroy my marriage and undermine my relationship with my stepkids. How can no one else see what's happening here? Am I really the only one who sees through Lisa's act? Update 2. Just when I thought the situation couldn't possibly get any worse, Lisa and Mike dropped another bomb. 2 days ago, they announced their engagement at a family dinner, after dating for just 3 months. My sister Amy had insisted on hosting this dinner to help everyone bond, and Lisa used it as her stage. She waited until everyone was gathered around the table, then Mike got down on one knee right there between the main course and dessert. The ring was enormous, exactly the style I had once mentioned liking when Mike and I went window shopping years ago. But the engagement wasn't even the worst part. After everyone finished congratulating them, Lisa announced their wedding date with this fake apologetic look on her face. They've scheduled it for the day after my due date. Yes, you read that right. I'm due on September 15th, and they're planning their wedding for September 16th. When I confronted Mike about the timing later that evening, he acted like I was being unreasonable. He claimed it was the only date available at this fancy vineyard venue Lisa had her heart set on. Lisa jumped in, saying it would be so beautiful to have both events so close together, like the universe was bringing our families even closer. She went on about how special it would be for the kids to welcome their new sibling and see their mom get married in the same weekend. Then Lisa turned to Kevin and Bonnie and asked them to be in the wedding party. Kevin would be a groomsman, and Bonnie would be a junior bridesmaid. The kids were put in an impossible position right there in front of everyone. They'll have to choose between being at the hospital for their half-sibling's birth or attending their mother's wedding. Bonnie broke down crying when she realized the conflict. Kevin just looked defeated, staring at his plate. Lisa put on her best martyr act, telling them she would completely understand if they chose to be with their new sibling, but her tone made it crystal clear what she expected them to do. The manipulation didn't stop there. Yesterday, my sister called to warn me about what Lisa has been saying behind my back. Apparently, Lisa has been telling everyone that I deliberately got pregnant when I did to steal attention from her relationship with Mike. She's going around acting like this understanding, gracious person who just wants everyone to be happy, while painting me as this jealous, attention-seeking villain who's trying to ruin her special day. The final straw came when Lisa started sharing her wedding plans in our family group chat. She's chosen pale pink and gold for her color scheme, exactly the same colors I've been using for the baby's nursery. I've been posting about my nursery plans in the family chat for months, sharing paint samples and decor ideas. When I pointed this out to my mom, she laughed and said great minds think alike. Then Lisa took it a step further and asked Amy to be her maid of honor, effectively hijacking my sister who was supposed to be helping me prepare for the baby's arrival. Lisa's been sending multiple messages every day about wedding planning, asking everyone's opinion on flowers, dresses, and venues. She's even suggested that if I'm feeling up to it after giving birth, I could come to the wedding as a guest. My mom told me I should feel honored that Lisa wants to include me. Include me? In a wedding that's clearly been planned to overshadow my child's birth? I've never felt so alone and gaslit in my life. Even Paul, who had finally started to see through Lisa's act after the baby shower incident, is back to questioning whether I'm letting my pregnancy hormones cloud my judgment. He suggested that maybe Lisa really did just fall in love with Mike and this is all a series of unfortunate coincidences. The only person who seems to understand what's really happening is my best friend Rachel, who pointed out how calculated everything seems. She reminded me how Lisa coincidentally met Mike at a real estate seminar right after finding out I was pregnant, and how every decision she's made since then has been designed to maintain her position as the center of attention in our family. Update 3. It's been 2 months since my last update, and everything has finally come crashing down. The wedding is off, Lisa's true colors have been exposed, and my family has finally seen what I've been trying to tell them all along. The truth came out in a way I never expected. 3 weeks ago, Mike was using Lisa's laptop to help with some wedding planning spreadsheets when a notification popped up. It was a message from her best friend Cindy about their plan working perfectly. Mike's suspicion was triggered, and he started digging through their conversation history. What he found was devastating: months of messages detailing Lisa's entire scheme. She had deliberately sought Mike out at that real estate seminar after learning about my pregnancy. The messages showed how she and Cindy had tracked Mike's schedule, figuring out which seminar he would attend. She had planned every detail, from what to wear to what topics to discuss to make him interested. The messages were full of updates about her progress in manipulating my brother and driving a wedge between me and my family. The worst part was her discussion about the wedding date. She had specifically chosen the day after my due date, hoping to force Kevin and Bonnie to choose between their mom's wedding and their sibling's birth. There were messages about how this would prove where the kids' true loyalty lay, and how it would establish her dominance in the family dynamic. Mike confronted Lisa at our house, with Paul and the kids present. He had screenshots of everything: the planning, the manipulation, even messages where she mocked my pregnancy and called me an interloper in her perfect family. Lisa tried to deny everything at first, claiming the messages were taken out of context. But when Mike started reading them aloud, including dates and specific details, she couldn't maintain the lie. Kevin and Bonnie's reactions were heartbreaking. Bonnie ran to her room crying, while Kevin just stood there, his face getting redder by the minute. He finally exploded, telling Lisa he couldn't believe she would use him and his sister as pawns in her game. All the time she had made them feel guilty about spending time with me, all the manipulative comments about their half-sibling, it all made sense now. Lisa tried to turn the situation around, claiming she only did it because she was afraid of losing her children's love to me. But Kevin shut that down immediately. He reminded her that I had never tried to replace her, that I had always respected their relationship with their mom. Bonnie came back downstairs and told Lisa that she was the one who had ruined their relationship by trying to control everything. The kids made their own decision after that. They asked Paul if they could spend more time at our house, even during Lisa's scheduled weeks. They're both in therapy now, their choice, not mine or Paul's, trying to process their mother's betrayal. Lisa tried to fight this at first, but Kevin and Bonnie were firm. They told her they needed space and time to rebuild trust. I gave birth to our daughter Abigail last week, 2 days before my due date. Kevin and Bonnie were there, along with Paul and my family. Mike came too, wanting to be there for his niece's birth. Lisa didn't try to show up or cause drama. I think she finally realized she had lost this battle. The kids have decided to stick to the legally required visitation schedule with their mom, but they've made it clear they won't be manipulated anymore. My family has been extremely apologetic, especially my mom and Amy. They keep saying they should have seen through Lisa's act, should have listened to my concerns. Mike is still dealing with his own feelings of betrayal, but he's been incredibly supportive, spending time with Kevin and Bonnie and helping them process everything. Sometimes the truth has a way of coming out exactly when it needs to. While I wouldn't wish this pain on Kevin and Bonnie, I'm relieved that everyone finally sees Lisa for who she really is. We're all healing and moving forward, focusing on our new addition and the genuine family bonds we've built.